I'm here today to talk to you all about abortion. Imagine not having a chance at life. Imagine having your fate predetermined and your ability to fight against circumstances and having all of your great life experiences ripped away from you. Abortion is one of the most pressing issues that seem to plague the United States. There seems to be an equal divide between Americans who are pro life and who are pro choice. Abortion is the termination of a pregnancy which will result in the future child being born. According to abortionno.org, the article that was accessed April 4th, 2019, where it said there are approximately 800,000 abortions done in the first trimester of the pregnancy and 100,000 in the second and third trimesters. The fact of the matter is that whether or not people want to accept it, abortion is just murder. Many people won't accept that and say that the babies are not fully developed. The argument is true. The baby may not be fully developed, but no one can deny the fact that these fetuses are potential life and will come to fully developed and no one interferes. You can make the same argument for someone who is in a coma. These people may be coincidentally in a coma for, let's say, 9 months. The doctors confirm that he or she will wake up perfectly fine from the coma in 9 months. Most people with basic morals would agree that cutting this man or woman's life short would not be just. The same can be applied to a fetus. They are simply in a coma and will be born okay in 9 months. If you went and someone shot a person in a coma, that would be considered murder. But when you go and do the same to an unborn child, it is not. The way to solve most common abortions is to simply say yes to safe sex. Right? Yes, accidents may happen, but you will know if an accident happens. There's medicines such as a Plan B pill or morning after pills which people can get. There are measures that people can be informed of from start to stay in safe sex and avoid having an abortion. Many women will say that these pills are expensive at about $50 per pill, but yes, it is pricey. Just because something costs money doesn't mean that you should do it and that it's correct. According to NBCnews.com, they wrote an article called Condoms 101, which was written February 26, 2012, where it said a study of 539 men where only 8.8% of applicants reported issues. While this is a small amount of incidents, there's still other inexpensive alternatives to abortion. First of all, abortions all tend to cost about $350 during their first trimester termination. The worst option also costs more money. Many people who support abortion are pushing the fact that women who are raped have the right to perform an abortion that are opposed to everyone else. Right? Yes, everyone will agree rape is one of the worst crimes committed to people. It may be worse than murder with how it traumatizes the people who fall victim to this heinous crime. New York Times wrote an article that was accessed April 4th, 2019, called Rape and Abortions Are 1% of Incest, where it said, the Institute said that it knew which category qualified only 2,444 of the women, and of these, 72 were eligible for rape or incest. I stand by equal right for everyone, no matter the situation. Everyone should have the same rights and follow the same rules. So this means that just because someone was raped, as terrible as it is, does not give them the right to play God and play with the lives of babies. All of those have the same right and value of life. Who are those people to determine the life of a baby who is raped and has lesser value of the baby whose life was not? That is determining the life can have higher value if they're the product of an evil. At the end of the day, most people will commonly agree that life begins at fertilization, and this is when pregnancy tests can begin to identify pregnancy. We are stopping the chance of these children to be able to live. Some children may be born with disabilities, and yes, that is one of the worst things that can happen, but give them a fighting chance. Do not just eliminate their chance of life simply because it will be harder. There are many cases of people who are born with disabilities and come to accomplish amazing things. Stephen Hawking, who was born and disabled but became disabled later in his life. Imagine Stephen Hawking, who was born with a disability. His brain would remain the same, but his body was very limited. His mother decides she does not want to continue his pregnancy, and we lose one of the greatest people who have ever lived. My best friend, who I've known for about 10 years, is the product of rape. His mother knew that she needed to have her child because it wasn't right, and they both have grown, and he and his mother have turned out becoming great. If the abortion were to carry through, I would have lost a friend, and the world would have lost a great person. No man should possess the power to dictate whether or not someone has the ability to continue their life. And at this point, the government has been given the power to decide the value of life. If we continue this, we might as well praise the government as God.